Welcome or welcome back to the Light Renegades. My name is Starr. For those that might find themselves here for the first time, thank you so much for joining us. And if you find yourself here and you think, why on earth is this being channeling Lucifer? I suggest heading to the beginning of this playlist, the Darkness series, to get a scope of why I'm here, why I'm channeling Lucifer's energy, and what led me to this point specifically. But you can head over to our playlist for some different information. We have the Galactic Alliance that stepped forward, which is our fraction of the Galactic Federation of Light. My fellow Pleiadian Starr sister, Anna Maria, is bringing forward information from the Pleiadian High Council and also the Grace Collective. And we have a playlist of meditations that we've brought forward together with regards to opening and aligning your chakras and allowing for you to step into your own sovereignty and your own light, everyone. And I feel like that ties into what I'm about to share with you right now. And to, those that are here in real time, I know that this information is going to be incredibly triggering for some, and Lucifer allows for that understanding to perhaps be brought forward in a different way so that you can maybe perceive spaces where you are getting stuck in your own life cycle, everyone. And I think this is something that I was feeling, but I couldn't quite put it into words. And Lucifer stepped forward and put it so simply that I think we can all see perhaps where, we might still be judging the dark, whatever that means to you at this time, and not allowing for more light to step into those spaces. And, I think that where we are right now, we just have to allow for change. And throughout this journey of expanse, the only thing that has remained constant is change. And I had to get very used to just allowing things to fall away that I thought once made sense to me. And, our whole entire fragment of reality shatters before our eyes. This is just another fragment of that divine tapestry at this time, everyone, is what I want to share. So if you are feeling triggered, that is completely okay. But please, don't come down too harshly on yourself or others around you, or those that perhaps have opposing views to you at this time. And please know that, I'm here for discussion. I'm open to be speaking with any of you, and I'm open arms to anyone's views that are stepping forward, that might be opposing to mine at this time. It is completely okay. We are all on different life paths. I'm really bringing forward information that I know is going to be relevant for some because it's relevant for me. And I only bring information forward about things that I've experienced personally in my journey. I never bring forward bits of information, about things that I haven't firsthand experienced. And this didn't dawn on me until very recently. And teams of were kind of talking me down off the ledge because, often I have imposter syndrome and I think, who am I to be bringing this information forward? And, they remind me who I am. They remind me of the lifetimes that I've lived, and that this is the information that I'm supposed to be bringing forward. And that has to be okay. This is a platform for free speech, and, I'm speaking freely. And with regards to wanting to help others, I think this is something that, must be reiterated at this time. I am here to help. I'm here to listen to you, and I'm here to help you through anything that may be triggering for you. Don't think that if you have an opposing view, then I'm like, I don't want to hear it. That is not true. I have open arms for you. And if you are in a space of thinking, I'm not entirely sure what is happening, but this doesn't feel right to me, but I want to explore it, that is totally what we are all here for as well. This is an open community for discussion. There is so much love here. That is all we want to bring forward, is a space where you can feel more light and more love. But I think I will share a little bit more afterwards. But today's message from Lucifer was titled, "The Dark is Different." And he started with, "I hope that you are all easing into new layers and understandings. I wish to confirm that I am here merely to allow you to understand your light, the light, and how it can overcome anything. Rigid beliefs of the past have no continued impact on your lives moving forward and the generations to come. I'm here today to speak to those that have perhaps lived through very difficult times and understandings. The dark, the shadow, it is now here, it is often shown. This is a new and recent adjustment. As I stated in my previous message, so many beings are calling out to me now more than ever than once was. This is because I'm pushed forward, I'm an agenda. I am what the negative reptilians use to lure in those that are seeking other. In previous years, this was not the case. You were condemned, told to not speak of such things as it equaled death, curses, or witchcraft. We are in expansive times where the rules that once was truly are out the window. We are having to carve a new path to allow other to be explored, but I'm here to say so many of you are rejecting possibility. Through ignoring your own darkness, perhaps the idea of magic or alchemy still holds the same weights of the past. This must be addressed. I hope that you can begin to see the differentiation between exploring that is dark and the negative reptilian order. Taboo exists as a means of expression, and I think this is perhaps where some of you are getting stuck on this path of exploration. You have lived through rigid times, and there was no room for the dark, as it truly did not mean the same thing as it does today. I am remaining elusive here. If this message is for you, it will sink in and will be understood. My point here is that if you wish to explore anything outside of what you were once allowed to, no one is here to condemn you to darkness. You need not turn to extremes to explore all that is. There is a place for you of light, and perhaps there is a place for you to be of light and still perhaps explore what some may consider to be the fringes of this world. I dare say this is all of you here. You are a minority exploring something, perhaps galactic energy, that many believe not to be real at all. This is alchemy, this is magic. We are sat here together exploring the dark. Has anything happened to you yet? I hope that you pick up what I am putting down. However, I know some will still need more time to come to terms with these realms and feel comfortable. You are on the path of accelerated expanse for a reason. You are here to break the boundaries of what once was. This in itself would have been considered darkness at some point in history. The point I would like to end on is do not harm yourself, do not harm others, and the rest is for you to explore. Nothing is off limits. Anything that tells you you are wrong for wanting something else, taboo or otherwise, this is not my energy or that of a being of light. This is a negative reptilian influence. They will lead you to believe you are wrong, you are not worthy, and you are not right, which in turn is you limiting and harming yourself. I wish to give you liberation and freedom from past constraints. Do not limit yourself through the mask that others wear because they too have perhaps picked up on those do not limit yourself through the mask that others wear because they too have picked up such masks from such limiting spaces. You have the freedom to live, breathe, experience whatever you wish to. Anyone telling you otherwise is living in lack, fear, or has never had anyone to tell them that they can live this way also. You are free, remember this. A different tone of message today, but I hope you can understand my perspective. The taboo is being brought to the light so that you can all move together in unity. And I hope that this message makes sense, everyone, and it really illuminated something today for me, bringing history into this. And I think that it helped me to understand where some of you might be right now with regards to this information just have never been brought forward to your attention in a space of light before. And, that is completely okay. We are coming to, I think the last spaces where, we've had a representation of what is possible, and we are now just ever stepping forward almost into the darkness, everyone, because we don't know what exactly is going to happen, and neither do fully our teams of light. Everything is ever changing, so we are technically living in the darkness at all times, everyone, and we have to just start being okay with that. And I think Lucifer just wanted to bring forward this idea that nothing is off limits and you're allowed to experience whatever you wish to experience, and good of all, harm to none. I like to say, I say that often, and you're allowed to have, be, say, do whatever it is that you want in these realms, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. It's going to be up to you to sink into your heart and soul-centered space to allow you to truly know what it is you wish to experience, but don't allow anything to be off limits. And I found it interesting that Lucifer brings this forward, this idea of the taboo, because I think even for myself, I have started to realize where I was holding limiting beliefs around so many things that was inherently ingrained in me through my Catholic schooling. And, I'm not knocking Catholicism here. I feel like it held a very important place in my life somewhere at some point. And I think that is for, a lot of people out there. I'm trying to not specifically pinpoint, any doctrines as necessarily wrong, because I don't think any are, but I think we are now coming to an idea where there is a even more of an expansive understanding that we can all come together in. And I realized that I held a lot of things in the taboo without realizing it, and pleasure being one of them, everyone. And this is something that's been brought to my attention recently, and this leads into something that I will bring forward when it feels the right time. But I thought that might be a real easy explanation for you to understand, is that something that could be considered taboo is pleasure, would be perhaps sex, and allowing that to be something that you experience and that be okay. And this again is something that is good of all, harm to none. But I think at some points in history, pleasure and sex meant some very different things, and the idea of a woman receiving pleasure was considered wrong, and to some degree it's still misrepresented in the media as well. And I wrote countless essays on this when I was actually doing film studies. So there is many aspects of the taboo that you might not think would be considered taboo, but to someone it is. And I didn't realize I put pleasure in the aspect of taboo, and I found this incredibly interesting to me, and it illuminated a lot through my past that I had to look through and work at. So I'm still stepping into the darkness with caution, everyone. There are still things that are coming up that are triggering me on this path that I have to look back at and think, actually perhaps I was holding a really strict understanding around some things. And I realized I stepped forward into the taboo in some aspects of my life because there was not a space for me to just explore freely, and there was no room for me to have questions. I remember often being at school, I would ask a question and it would be like, you can't say that, like that's not what we believe here, and we don't have an answer for this outside of God. And I didn't realize how strong of a effect this had on me growing up, and I realized where it pushed me into spaces of wanting to explore other, because I didn't feel like I had a space. And that is down to a whole manner of things, not just my schooling, but situations happen so that I would be forced into these other spaces to then explore other. And I've now come full circle, and I'm stood even more firmly in the light, side by side with beings that I was once taught about. Jesus is with me often, Mother Mary is with me often. I am not out of the realms of the light bringing this information forward, everyone. But I believe that all beings hold a space here, even the negative reptilians somewhere. They are pushing us ever closer into a space of light. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that we get to experience something that is other out there right now. And I never thought that I would perhaps say that, and I can see where so much of this regime is bringing so many of us down and has done in the past. But we are now stepping into a time where we just need to be calling in our own sovereignty and becoming together. This is the main message, is nothing is separate from us at a soul-centered space. We are all as one. Beliefs go out the window. My heart is open to everyone, I promise you this. And if you are feeling something other than that from me, I apologize. Please do reach out to me and we can come to some sort of understanding together. But know that there is always space for you here. I welcome everyone here, and this is just an aspect of what is. And perhaps this is not something you will ever look into again, but I know that there is going to be beings out there that have experienced something very similar to my life, and that will need someone to say, you're okay. You're not okay for you're not okay for stepping forward to things of darkness. This doesn't make you evil. This doesn't make you wrong. And you're allowed to believe whatever you believe in, as long as you are calling in light. And this is the bit that we are getting stuck on, is that there are some beings out there that are calling in darkness. The negative reptilians are stepping in, and those beings don't understand their own light, their own divinity, so they are getting stuck in this negative reptilian regime. That is what I'm bringing forward. It's as simple as that. And Lucifer wants you to just go and explore and enjoy, and Lucifer's energy came through like very, very cheekily to me when it first came through. And I said that I think I said it was like the ex-boyfriend that you don't want to go back to. And, you know, his energy is of that, you know, and he's very funny. He's very funny. He can be very charming, but he also knows these realms, you know, and he's with my teams of light. He is with Galactic Energy. We are all working together at this time. So explore, you know, explore with him too, you know, and I think just allow yourself to be okay with the dark is what I want to share, and allow yourself to sink into perhaps that which was taboo to you at some time. You can have it. You're allowed to experience everything right now. And I think perhaps some of you are getting stuck in that space too, of feeling like there are still boundaries that you need to be constrained by. They don't exist anymore. You can experience what you wish. But I think that's all for me today. I will be back very soon. I think more with Lucifer. I think we're going to be with him for a few more channelings, and then we will see what happens, everyone. But that's all for me today. Take care.